For this lesson, let's start by going up to the word File on the pull-down menu and going down to Browse in Bridge. Open up our little lady right here. Our selection techniques so far have been rather simple, but we were working with rather simple tools. But we can start with simple tools and get even more complex by combining something called a layer mask with a refine edge feature. I want to take her out of that background. I want to put her somewhere else. Now, the first thing I want to do is get rid of as much of the background in a rough way as I can. And I'm going to use the lasso tool for that. Why not? I'm going to come over here, go around like this, and call this a rough selection. Something like that. Let's go to our magic wand tool. We've got a 3x3 average with a tolerance of 32. Contiguous and anti-aliasing are on, which are actually defaults, except for the 3x3. The average here is a point sample. Get in here, hold the Shift key, which means add. And I'm going to try to make this a little bit tighter around her hair, which is exactly what I'm doing. And I'm going to get in here, that area. Now I'm going to switch to the lasso. And I'm going to hold the Shift key again and just get in here, pick out some of those areas. I don't need to be too perfect here, all right? I'm making a rough selection. Okay, I'm happy. I'm going to go back to the magic wand. This should be easier. I'm going to get right about here, hold the Shift key down and click. Not too bad. I'm going to get in here, get that area right there, and I think I'm going to stop while I am ahead. So I got a rough selection of everything but her. I want her. Now, there are so many times that you select what you don't want because it's easier to select, and then you go up to the word select on the pull-down menu and you say inverse. Now I've got her selected. Now, the next thing we need to do is talk about something called a mask. Backgrounds by default can't have a mask on them because they don't support transparency. And a mask allows me to control the transparency of an image based on black and white, but since we have a selection, it's going to paint the mask for me. Now, I can come over here to background, and to convert it into a layer, I can double click. Click OK, I got it. But here's another way. I'll show you a different way to do this. Let me cancel out of here. Click on the little lock and drag it to the trash can. Instant layer. Now, if I click this button right here, watch what happens. That's what I call a rough selection. The areas that I selected, which were her and her hair, become visible. The areas I didn't select because I inversed the selection are transparent, but let me show you the mask. Come over here and hold on the Alt key, Option on a Mac, Alt in Windows, and click, and you can see it's exactly based on what I did with selection. Masks control what you see. They are very powerful, but that doesn't look good. So make sure you have the mask selected over here. So you click right here, go up to the word select on the pull-down menu, and go down to Refine Mask. You're going to see Refine Mask and Refine Edge. Kind of depends on what you're doing. If we have a selection out, it'll say Refine Edge, but you're going to get the same features. We have a zoom tool and a hand tool. Enlarge or reduce, move. We can change how we view her against an overlay, on black or white, whatever you want to do. Let's leave her on white. I'm going to click down here to collapse that. We have what is called Smart Radius, which will look at the image and redefine where it thinks the edge might be based on my initial selection, and we can increase the area it looks by moving this. That does change things. I don't want to do too much there. This is the tool that's really going to help us out. Refine Radius tool. What that does is we paint with it. We literally do nothing but paint. But in painting, we're defining an area and we're saying to the computer, look in this area again, find a better way to refine the image. Let me just paint the edge of her hair. Find an edge for me. So I'm going to come over here and just begin painting. Go a little bit over. Now you can stop anytime you want to if you want to take a break, or you do the whole thing if you want to do that. Look at that. I love this tool. That's absolutely amazing. It's been around for a while. It's just gotten better. And I'm going to go all the way down on this one. Like I said, you can stop anytime you want. That is just amazing how that works. Now we have adjustment on the edge. Smoothing, don't need to smooth it. Feathering, definitely don't want to feather. Contrast would make the edge sharper. I don't want to do that. And I can shift the edge to make it go out or in. And I think we got that pretty much nailed. You also have a decontaminate colors. Now, what that does is it allows you to take the image with the hair and decontaminate the colors, blend them, if you will, into the background. But we really don't have anything yet, do we? So doing this is not really going to do much. Let's output this to a new layer with its own layer mask. Just in case we don't like it, we've got our original. You can even do it to a new document if you want to. If you like what you did in settings up here, you can say remember them. I'm going to click OK. Now that we have that done, let's go back up to the Word file, go down to Browse in Bridge, and let's open up 0007 NEF. This image will open in RAW. If it doesn't say daylight, change it to daylight and click Open. This image also is much bigger than our girl in terms of resolution. She's 72, this one's 300. If we bring her in, she's going to be real tiny. So we're going to go up to the word image and go down to image size. We'll talk more about these options later. We just need one thing. Change that to match her 72. Go ahead and click OK. Now it looks small, I know. Double click on the hand tool. Now go back to the girl by clicking the tab. Our goal is to move her into the other image. That's actually very easy. Make sure you have your move tool selected right here. Make sure you have the layer you want to move right here. Remember, we have two now because it made a copy. You don't move it from here, you actually move it from here. Drag her up here, touch the tab, the new image comes up. Go in the middle, let go. Let's go ahead and move her up. Now she's a little bit smaller than what I want, so I'm going to go to the word edit on the pull-down menu and go into Free Transform. Go to the corner, hold the Shift key down, and drag up like that so she fits the area. I want to tell you something. That so far is not bad, but we're not done. Make sure you have the mask selected over here. Let's go back up to the word Select and go back down to Refine Mask. Now this time, I want to see the image just like that. I'm going to pick up my paintbrush and just play around just a little bit more. Hey, don't you think you could get it just a little bit better for me now that you know what I'm putting it up against? All right. Maybe in here and in there. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to decontaminate the colors, but understand this time it knows what colors to decontaminate it against. So we're going to get in here and click here. I'm going to move this to the right. Now watch what happens. Look at that. It's bringing her hair back. That's not bad at all. Click OK. And there you go. Not too bad. We can do a better job, and we will as these chapters evolve. But creating a layer mask combined with Refine Mask allows you to do things that would be almost impossible to do with things like a lasso or even a magic wand. Let's go ahead and close out these, and you don't have to save them unless you want to. Let's move on.